Alright, no matter what, I'm not gonna get angry on this episode. Not gonna get angry. Justin Double has to get fucking fired. Hi, welcome back to the Rings of Isildur, where the sea is always right.
This show sucks.
The most expensive show in the planet that is literally making me a worse person just by watching it. She lagged behind, she's dead.
She's dead. Kill her.
If the next thing that happens is not Adar killing them all,
Then I'm gonna be very upset.
now given the response to my previous video, I feel like people really enjoy watching me lose my shit. And don't worry, I do it on this one as well. But there's a lot to go through, so let's get into it.
Here we go.
So the Harfoots are back, and in case you were wondering, they remain as uninteresting as always. Golf Frodo is helping Gandalf, not Gandalf, but totally Gandalf, with his speech impediment, and some part of me is wondering...
Needs to make something dead.
What's going on with the accent? Like it's coming in and out. That's what she said. Now the Harfoots are by far the worst thing in this show, and on top of that, they dare to add a musical segment to it. Fun fact, the actress that is singing in this scene was chosen to do that after a karaoke night with the showrunners. I wish I was joking. Look where the others are! Holy shit! Okay, that might have been bushes, but we know for a fact they would have been mercilessly left behind. The fuck is that kid? Probably the son of one of Amazon's board members? Okay, thank God. Not all who wander are lost. That's from Hearthstone. Not all who wander are lost. Good, now that we're done with that, we got to another scene that serves no purpose except adding more questions to an already confusing story. Justin Bieber, what's up? Look, I have no idea who 1998 Justin Timberlake is, but we already know that he's not Sauron, so I'm gonna assume that he's a made-up character. Speaking of made-up characters, we got to Adar, who's having a lovely tan session until one of his orcs comes to talk to him. Damn, Ada, you have to work on your skincare routine, my guy. And again, we have another heartfelt moment for the orcs, where Adar tells him how much he would love if he could feel the warmth of the sun. And he foreshadows that he's gonna take out the sun.
Summon the legions. It is time.
Time for what? Back in the Watchtower, Brownie drops the tea on the people that they are most likely gonna die a horrible death unless they stand and fight with her. Oh, sorry, I read that wrong. They're gonna die a horrible death, especially if they stand and fight with her.
I know I'm not the king you have awaited.
You're not the king at all. A town healer with zero combat experience and an army composed of one archer, who is a fucking simp. Simple as over there, next to her. So some people lift their hands, but the barn manager suggests they ask for mercy and they live with him instead. And on the way he tries to get Theo to come as well.
It's our chance. It's our time.
Do it, Theo. Do it. You fucking bitch. Now I want you to really concentrate in this next scene and quickly count how many ships you think there is, because it's gonna be important later. So Isildur decides to plead to his father about letting him go to battle, and he rightfully dismisses his attempts and further prove that the writers of this teeming pile never bothered to give any of the characters any purpose. They jump from one thing to another like fucking kids.
Slip me to the front of the line.
What are your qualifications?
Qualifications?
Do you belong to the Sea Guard?
You know I'm twice the same.
Do you belong to the Sea Guard?
This is about uniform.
Horseman's Guild.
You're being absurd.
Need I remind you that this guy is gonna later be the king of Gondor and Arnor, and in this episode he outed himself like nothing but a whiny, entitled fucking child. Lol, good luck West, boy. In the court, people are now upset with Pharazôn, even though I'm pretty sure they all lifted their hands in the last episode when he made the call to war. Made-up sister uses his feminine energy to convince an important character to convince his father to stop this. You heard that right? In another groundbreaking dialogue exchange between two irrelevant characters,
He will listen to
he
you.
won't.
When I speak, his ears close up.
You could have said he won't and would have been...
So speak louder.
Yeah, if someone doesn't listen to you, just speak louder! Hal, who actually took their jobs and is now making Numenorian swords, gets summoned to the war room to talk with Mir, Gal and Al. And somehow, despite being in a different part of the world after being adrift for God knows how long, he's able to pinpoint exactly where the enemy is heading, and how, may you ask?
You ask too many questions.
Now I know this show is confusing, but somehow the writers have a way to make it even worse. Miriel tells Hal,
My thanks, Lord Halbrand.
sorry, Lord Hal, that having him around will be good for when they make land. This being news to Hal, who had no plans of going, begins to explain his actual intentions until he's interrupted by Gal, who says,
In fact, it was my
My
intention.
companion is merely feeling the weight of his task. I have no doubt, come time, he will do his part.
yeah, shut up man, you're gonna come and you're gonna like it.
That's what she said.
So after Miriel leaves, Hal and Gal start going over who used who to get what. And then she drops this.
I have just convinced Numenor to send 5 ships and 500 men to aid your people. And
5 ships. There were like 13 in the fucking bay.
place a crown upon your head. Many might assume you used me
So basically, Galadriel gaslights Hal.
Find another head to crown.
Back to the Harfoots that remain being the worst thing to happen to Ireland since England, where Frodo and Sam, gender neutral name, find some wolf tracks and we get this gem.
In a slip fungus. He's responsible, isn't he? The big fella.
What precisely do you expect me to do about it?
What you ought to have done at the camp. Take their wheels and leave them. What's it gonna take?
Fucking hypocrites. Fuck the Harfoots, man. So the poorly CGI wolves attack and the very clumsy Harfoots somehow manage to outrun them long enough for Gandalf to appear and save them with a force push. Where did that fucking come from? But he hurts his hand in the process.
The Force is strong with you.
Now let me welcome you to the obligatory stupid part of this episode. So because we're going to war, we gotta train the new recruits, and we see Lendl giving the large number of volunteers some lessons. And along comes Galadriel, who's here to show them how to get it done.
There are many ways to kill an orc, but for you, I will keep it strong and simple. Stab, twist, gut.
Stick him with the pointy end.
Come at me.
That's what she said.
We will see who can score flesh.
Anyone that does, I will promote to lieutenant.
So let me get this straight. Not only they're training with real weapons, he's actively encouraging people to hurt each other, and whoever does gets promoted? So Jason Momoa steps forward, and what is that stand, my guy? He starts swinging, and of course he can't touch Galadriel because she's the absolute best. Now Morpeth Clark says she needed therapy after some of the action scenes in this show, and honestly, I'm still waiting for them. So they continue this poorly choreographed dance. Friend number 2 tries to blindside Gal, almost takes his friend's head in the process. I mean, honestly dude, it's a sword, not a mace. And Isildur gets wind of the fight. Oh god, this just gets better and better. Just for fun, let's count how many cuts are in this scene. Did she just hit him? What the fuck into the Matrix bullshit is this?
Well done, Lieutenant.
That's all it takes. No wonder the fucking Numenorian fall. Now I get it, for cinematic purposes, it's not bad that there's some cuts in the sword fight scene, because otherwise sword fighting is kind of boring. But having that many cuts and your fight still looks this fake, ish. Oh. But did we learn how to fight against orcs though?
Stop asking so many fucking questions.
So after the fight, Hal pulls a trick to pick up a sword, and Galadriel reminds us for the 5th fucking time that he's actually a king.
Never known a Smith's aide who could do that.
Excuse me? An important character actually takes made-up sister's advice and tries to convince Al to change the queen's mind, because war, bad. And we get another instance of this show's marvelous screenwriting.
The tide may rise and drown a man, or fall and sweep him out to sea. The trick of mastering the current is to know which way it will turn next.
So he gets angry at his dad, and Farazan explained that there's more to this quest than just taking orders from an elf. His true purpose is to get wealth from helping the men of the south, which kinda makes sense, him being a politician. Yet something tells me that this wasn't enough for this dude. Mithril has a chat with his dad.
Don't go to Middle-earth. All that awaits you there.
What, Father, what awaits me?
Darkness.
That's racist. Back to Frodo and Gandalf, who's healing his boo-boo using ice magic, and this dumbass of a character has no better idea than to touch it. Okay, she loses the hand, right? Why would you touch him? Boring. She kept the hand. I'm nice, IRL, I swear. Back in Lindon, the crew are having dinner and Gil-galad gets a little bit sus on Durin, and in order to shift the attention out of him, he asks about the table.
Where did you procure the table?
Why do you ask?
This stone grows only at certain depth. We consider each to be a precious gift.
Yeah, stone doesn't grow, but Gil-galad, in order not to offend Durin more than he already did, tells him that they'll send the table with him as a sign of respect. After dinner, Gil-galad starts questioning Elrond about his loyalty to Durin, and we get an exchange between them where Gil-galad tries to get Elrond to tell him if the dwarves have indeed discovered Mithril, and we get a flash of what apparently is the origin story of Mithril, and I'm pretty sure they made it up. Trust me, I looked. And we get like 5 seconds of a Balrog. Hey, they promise a Balrog, there it is. And Gil-galad asks Elrond again to confess that the dwarves found Mithril, and he responds,
"Then you admit the dwarves did find it, the ore containing the light of the lost Silmaril."
I admit only this. I promised Durin never to reveal his people's secrets.
So in denying it, he confirms it. Then Gil tells him the real reason why they want this new discovery and takes Elrond to the tree that is now covered in blight. You fucking tell me that Elrond didn't notice that when he walked in.
Who else knows about this?
I mean, everyone, the fucking tree is there. I mean, yeah, it's literally all over the tree. It's pretty obvious something is up. The elf life is fading, and Gil-galad believes the ore can save them, and he tries to make Elrond confess again.
Hope is never mere, Elrond, even when it is meager. When all other senses sleep, the eye of hope is first to awaken, last to shut.
God, fuck you, Justin Dummel.
If the elves abandon Middle-earth now, the armies of darkness will march over the face of the earth. It will be the end, not just of our people, but all people.
Also, now darkness is coming, so what Galadriel was saying in episode number 1 before he sent her away came through. Who would have seen that coming? We get more singing. Just standing on the side like a fucking baby. Just standing on the corner, no one knows that I want to serve my country. And Isildur predictably comes to his newly promoted friend to ask him to get him back in the navy, because he's a selfish child who only cares about himself.
Can you?
Perfect acting.
Glad that you apologized.
He did it.
I did.
No, you
But I'll
didn't.
gladly do it again. I'm sorry I started the fight. Please bring me with you.
No.
Lol, get fucked.
What'll it take to make this right? Fine, you get a free hit. Actually...
You're still not in.
I can't in good conscience stake my name recommending you for a duty that you might well decide.
It'll be different this time.
You won't. Get
One day I
twice.
hope it will be.
Get fucked.
One day I hope you find something that you would be willing to sacrifice anything for.
Hey, maybe a ring or something. The baby Farazan decides that what Daddy said was not enough, and he attempts to sabotage the
fucking
ships.
joking?
And while doing so, he finds Isildur hiding in the boat.
Are you about to burn the boat? Get out of here this moment. I won't let anyone know I saw you.
I'm telling you, man, the writers are really good at making you hate main characters. They begin fighting and the boat catches on fire, and on their way out, this fucking idiot slips. And soon we learn why. Yeah, we need Isildur to save this dumbass character, who I'm pretty sure just committed treason, though Elendil sees him as worthy of getting back into the navy. And somehow this idiot's still angry at him. So we get an airshot of the bay, and apparently the explosion took down 2 ships, and the CGI department forgot that they rendered more ships in the earlier scene. And because of this setback, Mithril starts having doubt if they should go to war.
We'll reconvene at first light to make a final decision.
Translation, I'm gonna sleep on it. Back at Linden, Elrond breaks his oath yet again and shows Grandma Brimbor the Mithril Durin gave him, and only confirms it could actually save the elves if they get enough quick. We cut to Lord Halbrand sweeping the floors with the same energy of that one extra from James Bond, when Gal walks through the door and tells him that he needs him in order to convince the Queen to go ahead with the war. So she vaguely apologizes to him, and he tells her that he did horrible things in the past.
Sometimes to find the light, we must first touch the darkness.
Lol, that's what Muriel's dad did. So Hal pushes Gal into telling him the real reason why she wants to go to war in a very poorly acted scene, where Galadriel basically admits that she needs to succeed because she's been so annoying in her relentlessness that everybody decided to turn their backs at her. And Hal responds with this.
I'm sorry to your brother for all of it.
Your sorrow cannot ease my pain.
Then why the fuck do you ask? Fuck you.
And nor would a hammer and tongs ease yours. There is no peace to be found for you here, and nor for me, no lasting peace in any path, but that which lies across the sea. I have fought for centuries seeking to earn mine. This is how you earn yours.
And she gaslights him again! So the people of the Southlands kneel to Adar, and Barn Manager pledges his allegiance to him. Adar throws him in the ground and gets a knife tossed at him, grabs Slim Jim from the crowd and tells him to prove it by stabbing the kid. Finally some action. Fuck you, Slim Jim. Sorry, lad. Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Do it.
Walter, no.
Walter, yes.
Do it.
No!
Fuck off. I swear to God, this show is the definition of blue balls. So we cut to Arondir, who's teaching his soon-to-be stepson how to shoot, and Theo, as per usual, is an absolute dick to him. But he tells him about the magical sword, and Arondir somehow pulls this shit out of his sleeve.
I've seen this before.
How did you see it? He was covered in weeds. And suddenly, would you look at that, there's a fucking... And no one noticed that while manning the tower.
Conjured by some forgotten craft of the enemy to enslave your ancestors.
Oh look, allegory. And in the gloom of their upcoming death, Brownie, who was a strong leader at the beginning, asking the people to stand with her and fight, decides to surrender to Ada in order to survive, and Arondir has to try his best to convince her otherwise.
Because we're destined for the darkness. It's how we survive.
Oh, wasn't she like arousing people to fight at the beginning of the fucking episode?
It's over.
Not yet.
Soon enough. And when they march upon us, this tower will fall.
That's it. What? I don't know. Let's toss the tower on them. You know I'm joking, but they might actually do that. Back to Linden, where we get what's probably the best line of the entire episode.
I have not been truthful with you, Durin.
Oh, Owl's beard! Enough with the quail sauce! Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
That's what she said.
I'm just gonna play that a couple times.
Give me the meat and give it to me raw. Give me the meat and give it to me raw.
Title of your sex tape.
I don't need to remind you that this cost $1 billion, right? Elrond then tells Durin that they need the Mithril to save the elves, and he accepts as long as they can convince his father to agree to it as well. Oh, and Gil-galad was there too. I wonder if they had any gold left after fucking dressing Gil-galad. Now for the final part of the episode. Oof. Statements. You almost had us there, Hal. If only we haven't seen that in like all the trailers. This show is ridiculous, man. My only question during this parade is to the costume department and goes along the lines of what? This is what we see the Numenorians wearing in the Battle of the Last Alliance, and it looks cool, right? But what the fuck is this, and why does everyone look like a pale lizard? And what did you do to my boy Elendil? He looks fucking ridiculous. Don't be happy, you're marching to war. Oh look, Isildur's back in, to further reinforce the fact that being extremely annoying is incredibly rewarding in this show. And Made Up Sister is here too, crying off female energy, and I can feel the estrogen levels rising. And in that project there's like 3 women, so I call for equality. That armor looks so dumb.
Father secured him a post. Again.
Earn mine, same as you.
No you didn't. Of course he put him in the ship.
Report to the horsemaster.
Thought I was in cavalry.
You are. Stable sweep.
Lol, get fucked. Don't be happy about that, you're the fucking cleaning boy. Now everyone shut the fuck up because Galadriel is here. Now while she walks, I want to point out the fact that from the announcement of the war to this moment, apparently a single week passed. So somehow they managed to forge her a full plate of armor to elvish specifications, and in that time they could only line up 5 ships? And how the fuck do you feed 400 volunteers in 3 ships? Ships that can barely fit 20 soldiers. Wow, 3 ships. Oh, yeah. Certainly another home run from Amazon Studio that I can only describe as people pulling the Uno reverse card on each other throughout the entire episode. We get another example with Isildur that no matter what you say or do, you'll get exactly what you want with 0 consequences at the end of the episode. That fighting scene in the middle looks so fake. I was gonna put examples of fights that I consider to be better, like Hector versus Achilles, the one in Outlaw King, a movie that I didn't know about until researching for this video, or dual wielding, that scene from Game of Thrones. And I mean, even in Spartacus they train with wooden swords. Plus we get it, Galadriel is a badass, you don't need to shove it in my face every fucking episode.
Give it to me raw.
And the Numenorians are the might of men in the Second Age, and they only managed to round up 5 ships, and Rich Boy took down 2? Numenorians had an army. I am so glad that Amazon doesn't have the rights to the Silmarillion, so they can't show the great armament, because I'm pretty sure if this is the best they can pull up, they would absolutely butcher that part of the story. And the continuity, I don't know when these events are unfolding, but if they just sail from Numenor, and Arondir and Browning have days, if not hours, to live, when they arrive, everyone's gonna be fucking dead. So again, loads of questions being made with 0 hope for answers in the future. But if you watch this far into the episode, leave us a like, let me know in the comments below How do you feel about Numenorean armor, and why is that feeling hate? I am very tired, I'm gonna go get a drink, but as always I've been Nacho, hope you liked the video and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.